We're going to look at how we can rename an Xcode project. This might be something you do if you've followed a guide or a template and you just want to use a different name for what you're going to do. So this is using a study quiz app that might have been shared with you. And I'm just opening those folders up so you can see all the different things like the view controllers and the data that we have. We've also got our storyboard, which just gives you a look at what the app is like. And if you have a copy of this, you can do the same. So the first thing we're going to do is click on the project file at the top, which at the moment says study quiz. And we're just going to put in the new name that we're going to use. So it'd probably be a good idea to come up with one first. Now I'm going to be changing this app so that it becomes like a quiz for a personal type of perfume. So I'm going to call this app Smells Are Us. So I'm just going to type that in the box. And the next thing I need to do is just hit enter to approve that. And I get this big dramatic pop-up where it's telling me what's going to change. And I just need to hit rename. It will give me another warning. And I'm just going to say continue to that. And basically it's going to go through and rename all the things it thinks it needs to rename. But there are more things that we need to do. So to do that, we go up to the product drop-down menu and then down to schema. And we choose manage schema, which is down the bottom there. Okay, now what we have to do is change the schema name to match. So where it says study quiz at the moment, we need to change that to Smells Are Us. And then we hit the close button, which returns us to our project. Now what we need to do is go into Finder and make sure we can see the folder the project's in. Then open Terminal, so we can use Spotlight to do that. I'm just making my screen nice and big. And we're going to navigate into that folder. So I type CD and then drag and drop that folder in and see how it puts all the information about where that folder exists. And then I can hit enter. So I can type some commands in here to make changes inside that folder. So I'm going to use the command MV and then I'm going to type study quiz because I'm going to move study quiz to Smells Are Us. So you'll do the same. So you'll say MV, whatever your app name you're changing to the one that you want to change it to and hit enter. And that bit's done. Okay, now we're going to type in some really interesting lines of code. So I'm going to type in grep, G-R-E-P, space hyphen, capital R-L, space, in quotes, study quiz. So I'm just putting in the old name. I'm going to use the asterisk and then the vertical line, X args, SED, space, minus I, space, two quotes, space, quote, and then I'm going to put in S/study quiz / smells are us / and then a quote. And then I just need to hit enter on that and it will run that command. It's just basically making sure everything, okay, I've made a mistake there. So I'm just going to have a double check of what I've done. So I can push up on the up arrow on my keyboard and I get my line back. And what it is, I actually put a capital L and I should have put a lowercase l. So I'm just going to delete that L, put a lowercase. And then when I hit enter now, we kind of get an error, but see in the background in Xcode, we've got a pop-up. And basically what I need to do is click the Revert button and open. And that should have applied the changes we needed to our project. Seems really weird, but that's what you do. The last thing I'm going to do is change my display name to Smells Are Us. So I'm just going to run it and see what happens. And I'm just going to check and look, we've got Smells Are Us for our app name. So that's pretty good. If there is a problem, you might be able to change it in your info plist file under the bundle display name. So now we've renamed our project. Hopefully that worked for you, and I'll see you in the next movie.